Good morning, everybody. We have today as an interview a very, very significant for me, and I suppose for all of the audience person, a spiritual coach that personally she took me from the chaos, from the dark valley, and she helped me on my spiritual path. So this very brave and knowledgeable and educated and wise person is the spiritual coach you have in front of you, Eleen Yaw. Eleen, please introduce yourself and say something about your background, your bio, and so on.
Okay. First of all, is that thank you for inviting me. Okay, to be here to share some of the experience that I have, and definitely is that for me, I used to be a yoga teacher, but about 2 years ago, I decided to take on a different path, different journey. So definitely before that, I was also on my own discovery. Who I am, why I'm here, because it was because that I was not happy with my life. So I try to find what is the reason, what is the way that I can be happy. So in the way that I discover some of the so-called knowledge and wisdom along the way. So this is why I now realize become a coach, a spiritual coach is more powerful in the way that because I'm not here to just help somebody to actually understand the body, like through yoga, posture, and stretching, but rather it's through understanding who they are, what's the power they hold within. So that's what I am here for.
Yes,
To just share with you my journey.
Yes, this is fantastic journey and insight. So probably you had some sort of inner path that you chose, but somehow you started paving this path, of course, also with the help of the divine. What was this like situation that you said, okay, enough is enough. I want to stop focusing on my ego self, on my false self, and I want to meet who I am, to turn back into your source. What was this specific moment or moments or situations that made you start this journey?
Yeah, for me, it was actually happened, I think, about 4 years ago. So it was one of our coaches, like hello, goodbye friend on social media. So she approached me and asking me this simple question: what do you want? What do you want in your life, Eleen? And at that moment, I've been spending almost 30 years looking for just the answer of what happiness is. So that I told, yes, I definitely want to find what happiness is to me. So she said, okay, so let's figure that out. So that's where I start my journey of, understanding where I was and where I want to go and what has stopped me from achieving or just being happy. So that's where I start the journey. So throughout the journey, there's definitely a lot of up and down because we are the only one that actually stopping us from achieving the dream that we want or the life that we want to live. So in that journey is where I need to be face to face with, with my fear. There's definitely, most of us, have that fear and the misunderstanding of, fear and me. Because I thought I actually allowed fear to be like my standard. So everything that I want to achieve, I use, the measurement, of fear first, am I fearful? If I'm fearful of this next step, then it's not for me.
Yeah.
But what I realized that, I think Chris, you also know is that, fear is just there to actually show us that there is still something beyond it that we need to actually push through. So to me, it's at the times, okay, I'm fearful. I have a lot of doubts about myself, but I want happiness. Where is happiness, And it's like, when I come to a point, like I need to get out the comfort zone. And that's when I start to draw back. It's like, one step forward and 3 steps back. But that is also the time that I actually need to push myself a lot harder. Because when I get stuck still in there, 1 step forward and 3 steps back, there is nowhere that I be able to find out what happiness actually means for me. So it took me a while to actually figure that part out and overcome the fear of not getting out my comfort zone. So, yeah.
Yes, and it's significant because, as we say, we are taking the ladder of the life and of the self-growth one step at a time. Because if we wanted to take 5 steps at a time, so the possibility to fall down will be very often, okay? Because and if we try to climb the ladder 5 steps at a time or 10 steps at a time, it's very much possibility that we will like hit ourselves or injury. So this is like, as you said, that we need to take 1 step at a time, right?
Yeah. So at least that 1 step at a time, we are still making the progress.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we thought that like the progress has to be something big, something that actually like make us like realize something like the big aha moment. But in fact, just being daring to even think of the possibility, that actually is the first step.
Yes,
because
and actually
without
when
us,
yes.
Now you
And
go ahead.
when we
Yeah,
take
you
a
go ahead.
step at a time in the ladder, we can see more things. Let's say we are in the basement and we want to go to the first floor. So while we are climbing, we can see more of the first floor. So we can say that life to the happiness, back to the source, is like a journey from the point A to point B, but the traveling is that from point A to point B that can create the foundation and the people we are to go to the step B. Is that correct?
Yeah. In fact, yes. Because like if we don't take the first step, there's nothing for us to actually look forward to, because it's always been that first step. Because if we understand that the first step brings us to point A, but if we never do that first step or take the first step, we're still forever at the zero. We will never go to step the point A. So once we get to point A, that's where that we start to understand, oh, it's possible. Even that simple step, even that short journey is possible. Because when we get to point A, thing that we see, it will be so different. The way that we think, how we behave will shift. It will shift. So then when we get to point A, that's where that we see that, oh, there is possibility that I probably can push myself a little bit more and try. So that's where you set your point B. And then you push yourself a little bit more. So 1 step at a time. But as long as you don't take the first step, you remain at where your comfort zone is. So you are never going to grow. So sometimes that when we get very uncomfortable, there's either that, okay, we step back and stay in the comfort zone. It also means that we choose to, to entertain fear. But if we take that first step, okay, just try our best to actually move to point A, we actually allow ourselves to grow, to learn, to get to understand, what is the potential for us, by just giving us that little change to just step out.
Yeah. And so, you mentioned it about fear. So fear, many people think that fear is something that we have from the prehistorical ages, that it was the cavemen that they were fearing of the mammoth or from the animal. But fear is something that is designed the human to have, and we cannot escape from the design that the creator created us, because fear is something that we have and is coming as a product of the thoughts. And our mind is something human, and we can be always human. But I think, and you can tell me, that to eliminate fear means to alter the thinking. And by altering the thinking, we can reduce fear, right?
Yeah, you can see it from that angle. But how I actually try to reduce the, my resistance or resentment, with fear, is that I see it from a different point of view. I use the lens of love. So for the fear, I'm fearful of doing something because, I'm not comfortable, because I'm not certain, that I have doubt, I'm not sure. But what happened if, okay, we change that perspective by asking ourselves the question of, okay, what if, okay, I come from the space of loving me? For example, in my case, I was not happy before. So instead of keeping myself locked in the cage of unhappiness, even though I try to change something, changing the behavior of the other person or people around me or situation, okay, I know that I could not do that because we cannot change people's behavior.
Yes.
We can only change our behavior and our own expectation. So for me to be able to actually take the first step, I will have to ask myself a different question. Instead of asking myself, what am I fearful of? Why am I not doing that? I know I need to do that. Why am I not doing that? But I instead ask myself, what if, okay, I make it to point A? What will I enjoy? What would I be actually grateful for? What would be my life so different? If I'm much more happier, if I reach to point A, is it worth it? So I'm coming from the space of loving me first. So I know that fear is still there, but I'm not going to entertain that big chunk there, the fear, because I know it's always there.
Yeah.
It's sometimes we also have to understand that fear is there to protect us. Yeah. So in that way, we actually have to appreciate that fear is there for us because it's trying to take care of us, make sure that we are not doing something dangerous.
Certainly.
That's all fear is going to do. But what happened that we see fear as a form of love? Yeah. So we instead of using the word fear, I would change it to the word love. What would love, brought me if I'm at point A? Instead, what would me fearful of? Even take the first step. So yeah, so I will see from different perspectives. So because the opposite of fear is love.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So when we give fear, we signalize a lack of love. And when we are in the other side, we are acting out of love. But you mentioned something great about gratitude. And you, while we were having the coaching sessions, because Eleen had been my spiritual coach, you proposed me a book, The Having, of Su Lee. That was a book that changed my life in the current moment. Then that was saying exactly this: that you see, I have this blouse, I have this cross, I have my gel to make my hair. Below there is a door, a wardrobe, this chair. So that means that I had money to buy them, okay? And when I'm still always buying something, I buy water, I buy coffee, I buy something, or I have something, means that I already have. And this means that this current moment, we have a lot. We used to say that I have my health, I have my father, I have my mother, I have my brother, and we say, okay, what about the material things? When we are trying to alter our mindset to the abundant one, because we are not still in the abundant mindset, we need to be grateful. But to my experience, gratitude is not, it's not some list that we have when we wake up at 4 a.m. and we have to just tick 5 things that we are grateful. Gratitude is like a style of life that while I'm driving, I can feel that I have the car, that the car is working, so I have it. So comes from the having. And each day, all over the day, when we try to understand that we have love, we have things, we have everything that we need to the current moment so that we can reach to the next level, I think that this will alter our life and put a step at a time in the most higher steps of the ladder. What do you think, Eleen?
I definitely agree with that. In fact, I'm very happy to hear that from you. Very happy because the book itself, The Having, yes, highly recommend, to everyone, if you want to understand about, spending money, okay, whether you're actually feeling the resistance or you're happily spending it. Yeah. And the other thing I think most people, understand about money is that you see as like the physical notes or the coin that you have in your hand, in your wallet, in your bank account. But money is actually a form of, a form of energy. It's the circulation of energy.
Indeed.
So what do I mean by that is that, for example, okay, if for example, if I want to spend money on branded stuff, okay, for example, like a Louis Vuitton, a Hermes bag, you know they're very expensive, but people still spend money on that.
Indeed.
Why? It's because they believed, okay, the item itself will give them certain comfort. And the comfort is a form of vibration. It's a form of energy. It makes you feel good.
Yes,
It makes you feel special.
Yes, I had many times since I read the book, I said, I want to buy this specific jacket, okay? And I had the money, but I thought, if I spend $200 to buy the leather jacket, I like it on me. I see it beautiful. But if I buy it while I'm buying it, and a little bit after I buy it, will appear lower vibrational frequencies and emotions that making me to regret. And exactly this is to say, when I regret something that I bought, means I spent money, then yes, I send a scarce sign outside in the universe and must return back to me, because this is how it works. But on the opposite side, I made a boat. It was a very, very beautiful leather jacket, brown. I saw it many times. I even put it in my vision board. This time that I saw it, I didn't have the money. And I had the money a little bit after, but not so much so as to sustain and live. But what I found is that when I took it, I had very, very intense emotions, and not only affected my financial situation in the current time, but additionally, it brought me happiness, because when I wear it, I feel more handsome, more sexy, more abundant. So yes, this was an addition to my having, right?
Yes, exactly. Because sometimes when we spend something, especially expensive stuff, there's so sometimes we spend money because of like we call like to satisfy certain needs, okay, and the needs could be some like there's something that lacking in us, for example, confident, so we thought that if we wear something expensive, we will look more confident, we look good, right? But down deep inside us, okay, we still feel some sort of not there, like you still don't feel that you're up to that standard.
Yep.
But the other thing that you mentioned just now, you feel good after you're wearing the jacket. You feel sexy, you feel good, you feel that you're happy. And a lot of time, we forget about that chunk because we see money is being spent.
Yep.
Okay, to meet the needs at that, at that moment. But we forget to actually acknowledge that at the moment you put it on, you're having it in your hand. You're actually celebrating that there's something new that's happening in your body. It's that vibration. Because that buying, that having that new stuff in your hand, it actually make you feel certain energy. But a lot of time that you mentioned, after that, after a while, we don't feel good anymore. Like at the moment I spend the money, oh, it's so good, I carry the bag, I'm look so wealthy. But the thing is, after a while, you know that you want to spend money on something else, because this thing that I bought probably a month ago, I don't feel that anymore. So I want to buy something else. So but the other thing that
yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
So it's like what I would say that from the book having is that every time we spend the money, just be happy that you have the money to spend.
Excellent.
And whatever that you have in your hand or you put on the body, just be very happy that you have it, you're wearing it, and it makes you feel good. Like you say, it's the energy that you're sharing. Because when you feel good, when you feel sexy and looking good and handsome and beautiful, you're attracting people, to you. You're attracting, the energy that you want to be at, to you. You're also attracting the abundant.
It's true.
To yourself. But always remember that don't feel happy only when the moment you spend the money, but constantly feel happy throughout the time that you have the item.
Yeah.
Because
you mentioned something about energy for the money. You see, we can say that the money that we have are happy money or sad money. What I mean by that, happy money, we can say exactly this: when the energy that we create, that we push when we spend the money or when we have the money is a reflection of our own vibration. So when
Yes.
the vibration that we have, exactly when we made the boat, is of abundance and security and safety, so then we can say that we have happy money. The money that I bought the jacket is happy because I feel happy with the jacket. But when I wanted to buy the more expensive jacket, that it was not for me so much that I wanted it deeply inside me, but to have the head estimation, hey, you know what, I'm wearing this. It's looking good to me. But I had the favor for the other. So the energy showed me, because I am in some level that I can understand the energies, it showed me that this is a red flag. And we need always to be alert and to search for green flags, for yellow flags, and for red flags. And always before we make a boat, to see how we feel. Because this can either, as you said, attract more abundance, better people, better things, or the opposite, right?
Yeah. In fact, the other way is like, when, especially when you want to buy like, like something expensive and you don't have the money. But you know that it'll be so good if you can have it, right? So the other way that, how I, I so-called like, channel my energy from, knowing that I don't have the money in my bank account. Okay. But like, you and me, we know that, like, consciously, I know that I don't have the money in the bank account. But on the subconscious level, the mind doesn't know. So the subconscious mind only accept what you tell it.
Yeah.
So when you want to buy something expensive, but you know you don't have the money, but you still want to feel that, you can have it, right? So you can always, so-called like having this conversation with yourself, telling yourself that, okay, I love this item, I'm going to buy it, but not today.
True.
I'm going to buy it, but not today.
This is wise.
Yes. Yes.
So
this means you're still going to buy it, but it's just not today.
We can still want to buy it. Nothing can hinder us for buying, but this is true. If we don't feel good about it, we can postpone it. But still, as let's embrace a little bit the law of attraction. Yes, we can make a pause and sometimes visualize and feel, of course, how it is to be dressed in the more expensive, let's say, jacket, because then we emit a very high frequency and high vibration that can always, with this or with other way, can bring us this jacket, let's say, or even better jacket, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just don't remind yourself again and again that I don't have the money.
Yep.
No. Tell yourself that, okay, not today. I'm going to buy it, but not today. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
and
all.
look, our mind, our subconscious mind is trying to like make us a joke, because right now it's true. Let's say I don't have the money for the more expensive jacket, but who is telling me that the next day I don't have it? So we prejudify that because today we don't have the money, tomorrow we will not also. And who are we to emit a signal to the universe and to tell the universe, you know what, I don't have today, and you know what, I don't have tomorrow. And the universe will say, who are you to tell to me that you will not have abundance tomorrow, you silly person?
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Yeah. So true.
If we want to wrap up this beautiful conversation, this beautiful interview, we could say that using the gratitude with a proper way and using it for abundance and financial abundance, what is this specific phrase that you can give us advice, Eleen, spiritual coach that is having the approach of the spirituality over money, to the audience?
Okay, I think what I could share is that, you know, when you spend money, spend happily. That's all. Just be grateful that, you know, you have the money to spend it. Even, you know, if you look at the bank account, you know, there's not much there. But again, like I say, consciously, you can see it, you understand that. But on your subconscious level, the mind doesn't understand. So you don't tell your mind that I don't have the money, but tell your mind that I'm so grateful I do have the money. If I want a cup of coffee today, I have the money. If I want to go, you know, probably, you know, go out to spend, you know, sometime my friend today, I still could do that. You know, if I choose to stay home and just, you know, doing some work from home, I'm okay. I still have the money. I don't have to worry about money. So whenever I spend money, just be grateful that you still do have the money. Probably it's not the amount that you expected, but you still had the money, and just be super, super, super grateful for that. Because the more you're grateful for what you have, the more you attract that to your life. So don't ever say that you don't have, because that is also what you attract. If you keep reminding yourself that. Yes, so don't. So only remind yourself, I do have the money.
Yeah. So if you want to contact, for the audience, Eleen, she can always help you with your spiritual path, because this is another side of meeting your inner self, and we can say that is the right path that can bring also inherently love, health, wealth, and success. If you need to contact Eleen to have some advice, or even take a coaching session, or having your program, in the description below in the YouTube, you will see the profile of Eleen in the Facebook profile, so you can always check what she's doing, make her a friend request, or if you find value, you can always make a call with her and have a great spiritual path together. Is that okay, Eleen?
Yeah. Sure, of course. Yeah. So as long that, you know, if there is, you know, something that you want to clarify, if they are probably feel a bit doubtful, if you think that you're doing a live right now, you know, reach out to me. You know, we can always have a chat. But that doesn't have to be like a paid session. I'm more than happy to just have, you know, a conversation with you. Yeah. And thank you so much for having me today. Yeah.
Yes, it was my pleasure to have you today, Eleen, and very grateful, and a lot of very, very useful insight about spirituality, money mindset, and so on. So from Greece today, from the sunny Greece, I wish you a very beautiful day, and let's wrap it up and say finger.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year.
You too, and Happy New Year to the audience.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Chris.